There, and thank you for joining us today. Today we are going to discuss about all the temples dedicated to Mata Shanta and Sage Risha Shringa in India and all over the world. So let's begin. So can you explain the spiritual significance of temples dedicated to Mata Shanta and Sage Risha Shringa? Yes, Jai Gurudev, and thank you for joining us today. So, these temples are rare jewels in the cultural fabric of India and the Himalayas. Mata Shanta, the elder sister of Lord Rama, is remembered for her grace, sacrifice, and for being married to sage Rishyasringa. Their union was central to the Putra Kamishti Yagya that blessed King Dasharatha with sons, including Rama himself. The temples that honor them, such as Shringi Rishi Temple in Himachal and Shanta Devi shrines in Uttar Pradesh and Nepal, carry an aura of fertility, family harmony, and divine blessing. They are not just places of worship but living reminders of the balance between feminine patience and masculine penance. Now, from a Vedic standpoint, a temple sanctified the relationship of siblings and the responsibilities of Dharma. Mata Shanta's role reflects how sisters bless brothers, ensuring their prosperity and longevity, echoing Raksha Bandhan traditions. Architecturally, these temples are modest yet deeply symbolic. Stone carvings in Himachal, wooden pagodas in Nepal, and rural shrines in Uttar Pradesh each tells a story of continuity, how her centuries villagers kings and pilgrims came seeking blessings for children, family harmony, and protection of Dharma. They stand as eternal symbols of how divine siblings support each other's destinies. Now, could you describe the Rishya Shringeshwara temple in Kigga, Karnataka, and its uniqueness? Jayagurudev Kigga is a unique village near Sringeri, nestled in lush forest, where the Rishya Shringeshwara temple stands dedicated to sage Rishya Shringa. The temple enshrines a unique linga with horn-like projections said to symbolize the Shringa or horns of the sage. The atmosphere is serene, filled with natural beauty, making meditation there especially powerful for art of living practitioners. This temple symbolizes the integration of tapasya or penance with grace, a reminder that deep sadhana brings divine blessings. Many devotees feel calmness descend on their minds simply by sitting there. Now, historically, this temple has been revered since at least the early medieval periods. The Hoysala and the Vijayanagara kings offered patronage. Local legends say that Rishashringa's presence protected the land from drought, and even today, farmers invoke his blessings for rain. The temple's architecture is simple yet profound: stone walls with ancient carvings, a garbhagriha housing the linga, and traditional wooden roofing. Rituals conducted here, like special abhishekas and homas, are believed to restore balance in nature. The sacredness of this temple lies in its continuity of faith. For centuries, people have walked barefoot to seek rains, children, and blessings for marital harmony. Now, what is the story and significance of Shringa Rishi Temple in Banjar Valley in Himachal Pradesh? Yes, Jagadev, Shringa Rishi Temple is one of the spiritual hearts of the Banjar Valley. Locals consider Shringa Rishi as their Kul Devata or ancestral deity. Mata Shanta is worshipped alongside him, symbolizing the union of dharma and compassion. Every year, grand fairs and yatras are held here, drawing pilgrims from all over Himachal. From the art of living perspective, the valley resonates with stillness. Gurudev Sri Sri Ravi Shankar Ji often says that nature is the best teacher of meditation, and this temple, surrounded by snow peaks and Deodar forest, is a perfect example. The energy here is sattvic, drawing seekers into inner silence. Architecturally, the temple reflects Himachal craftsmanship, intricate wood carvings, sloping roofs, and layered sanctums. Historically, the temple is centuries old, maintained by local devatas, temple committees. Its rituals are unique. The deity is carried in decorated palanquins during festivals, and villagers walk miles singing bhajans. The temple embodies the bond between locals and their deities, showing how faith weaves into daily life. Spiritually, the temple blesses families with children, good harvest, and brother sister harmony. It's believed that couples visiting here together are blessed with marital bliss and offspring, echoing the original Putra Kamishti Yagya. Now, how is the Shringinari Dham in Basti in Uttar Pradesh connected with Mata Shanta? Yes, Jai Gurudev, Shringinari Dham is one of the rare shrines where Mata Shanta herself is directly venerated. It is believed that she performed deep penance here and later, together with Rishya Shringa, blessed countless families. Today, couples come here praying for children, and many testify to miracles. For art of living practitioners, this shrine carries the energy of sankalpa or intention, just as Shanta's Sankalpa brought Rama to the world. Devotees' sincere prayers here manifest as blessings. It's a place that affirms faith in the power of devotion and sisterly love. The temple is modest in structure but profound in sanctity. Built with simple brick and mortar, the sanctum houses idols of Shanta and Rishashringa fairs are held during Navratri and Shravan, drawing thousands. The local tradition says that women tie threads at their shrines seeking motherhood. From a dharmic lens, Shanta Devi symbolizes the blessings a sister brings to her brother's destiny. Her association with Ayodhya's royal family makes the shrine unique. It keeps alive the lesser known story of Ram's sister and the dharmic values she represents: sacrifice, patience, and blessing others' lives. Now, what role do these temples play in reinforcing brother sister relationships in Indian tradition? Yes, Jayagurudev, these temples beautifully reinforce the sacredness of sibling bonds. Mata Shanta's blessing enabled Lord Ram's birth. So, in a way, without her, the Ramayana as we know it would not exist. Visiting her shrines inspires people to honor their sisters not just once a year during Raksha Bandhan, but daily with respect and gratitude. The art of living encourages celebrating such values in families. In satsangs, bhajans like Bhaiya Mere Rakhi Ke Bandhan Ko Nivana remind us that love and dharma begin at home. In Vedic tradition. The sisters' role has always been auspicious during yajnas. The blessings of sisters and daughters are considered powerful. These temples institutionalize that sentiment. They remind us that dharma flourishes when sibling love is honored. Historically, pilgrims would come as families, brothers, bringing sisters to offer prayers together. Symbolically, it shows how family unity leads to divine blessings. Thus, these temples are not only sacred shrines but also cultural schools, teaching the importance of sibling harmony, which strengthens society itself. Now, how does the practice of Sudarshan Kriya resonate with the sacred energy of the Risha Shringeshwara temple at Kinka? Yeah, Gurudev, Sudarshan Kriya is about rhythmic breathing that harmonizes body, mind, and emotions with nature's rhythms. The Rishya Shringeshwara temple at Kigga, dedicated to sage Rishya Shringa, is historically associated with balancing natural forces, especially rain and fertility. When one practices Sudarshan Kriya after visiting such a temple, the mind aligns with the sage's energy or penance, bringing balance to inner thoughts and droughts of stress and anxiety. The forested silence around Kigga magnifies the meditative impact of Sudarshan Kriya. Devotees often report that their breath feels deeper and their hearts lighter, as though the sage's tapasya continues to guide their sadhana. Vedic rituals like Agnihotra and Yagyas performed by Risha Shringa were essentially the Sudarshan Kriya of their time, restoring harmony between humans and cosmos. In fact, the temple priests often conduct a Panchamrit Abhisheka and small homas, echoing his legacy. Art of Living's modern practices are a continuation of this ancient science. Just as Yajnas called rains, Sudarshan Kriya brings clarity and abundance in one's life. Devotees who visit Kigga and combine temple darshan with Kriya or meditation experience a unique blessing, outer rituals and inner breath aligning to manifest peace. Now, can Shringa Rishi temple in Himachal be connected with the Gayatri Japa and Trikal Sandhya? Yes, Jayagurudev, Shringa Rishi temple nestled in the Banjar Valley is immersed in Himalayan purity. Chanting Gayatri mantra here, especially during Trikal Sandhya, dawn, noon, dusk, carries profound vibrations. The valley's silence amplifies mantra resonance, cleansing the mind deeply. In Art of Living programs, Gayatri Japa is introduced in Upanayam ceremonies for young boys. Many participants who have visited the Shringa Rishi temple tell us that their daily chanting feels more powerful afterward. The sage himself embodies the principle of tapasya, and when one practices disciplined chanting there, the blessings multiply. From the Vedic lens, Shringa Rishi's presence represents dharmic continuity. Gayatri Japa is a bridge to Savitra Devata, the sun. In these mountains, the rising sun shines directly into the sanctum, reminding one of Savitra's radiance. The villagers often gather for morning and evening prayers, maintaining a collective rhythm of faith, much like Trikal Sandhya. By linking this to Art of Living courses, participants can deepen their meditative practices, just as a sage once blessed King Dasharatha through Yajna. Today, Gayatri chanting in this temple blesses families with clarity, wisdom, and progeny. Now, how is the Shringi Nari Dham in Uttar Pradesh connected to rituals like Upanayanam and Sanyam Sadhana of level 1 and level 2? Yes, Jayagurudev, the Shringi Nari Dham devoted to Mata Shanta and sage Risha Shringa emphasizes initiation and discipline. Upanayana, the sacred thread ceremony, is the formal initiation into Gayatri and Tapasya. At this shrine, devotees feel they are re-initiated into a sacred life. Shanta symbolizes patience and Sankalpa, while Rishashringa symbolizes self-restraint, qualities central to both Upanayana and Sanyam Sadhana of level 1 and level 2 in Art of Living's advanced programs. Practicing silence or mauna here makes one feel connected to Shanta's inner strength. Now, the rituals performed here often involve couples seeking children. Echoing the Putrika Misti Yagya in Upanayana, the boy becomes a Dvija or the twice born and takes a vow to live in Dharma. Similarly, Shringinari reminds devotees of rebirth into spiritual discipline. Sanyam Sadhana of level 1 and level 2 in Art of Living, where seekers spend days in silence and deep practices, is modern tapasya akin to what Risha Shringa practiced. Thus, visiting the shrine before or after such a program amplifies Sankalpa Shakti, ensuring that vows taken in Upanayana or silence bear fruit in life. Now, can Santaneshwar and Mahadev temple in Nepal be linked to Padma Sadhana and fertility rituals? Yes, Jagadeva, the Santaneshwara Mahadev in Lalitpur, Nepal is famed for blessing childless couples, very much aligned with Mata Shanta and Rishi Shringa's role in King Dashrath's Putra Kamishti Yagya. Padma Sadhana, a yogic practice in art of living, activates energy centers and harmonizes the body mind system, making one receptive to blessings. When devotees practice Padma Sadhana here before darshan, the body itself becomes a fertile soil for sankalpa. Many feel as if the stiffness in their bodies and even mental rigidity dissolves in Mahadev's presence. The temple's architecture, a pagoda style with three tiers, symbolizes body, mind, and spirit alignment. Couples traditionally offer milk and bilwa leaves to Mahadev here, praying for children. This act parallels yogic sadhana of purity of offering, discipline of posture, and surrender of mind. Rituals like Santan Gopal Homa are also conducted here, aligning with Art of Living's homas. The combined effect of Padma Sadhana and these Vedic rites is profound, activating both the subtle and gross levels of life to bring abundance and fulfillment. Now, how do local shrines of Mata Shanta across North India connect with Guru Puja and family harmony? Jayagrudev in satsangs across villages, small shrines dedicated to Shanta Devi preserve her memory. Guru Puja in Art of Living is about honoring the lineage of masters through gratitude. Similarly, offering flowers and lamps at these shrines is like honoring the elder sister of Dharma. Guru Puja develops humility in seekers. Just as Mata Shanta's humility shaped Ram's destiny, families visiting these shrines together often feel more united, which mirrors how Guru Puja unites seekers under one lineage. These village shrines may not be grand in architecture, but their power lies in devotion. Families come during Raksha Bandhan and Navratri to seek blessings for siblings. In Vedic Dharma, Guru and sister both symbolize protection, one through wisdom, the other through love. Guru Puja done in such places has double sanctity. It honors the lineage of sages and acknowledges the sisterly force that upholds Dharma. Thus, these shrines subtly teach that true family harmony comes when we see every relationship as sacred. Now, how does the architecture of Kigga's Zarisha Shringeshwara temple inspire seekers practicing Sahat Samadhi meditation? Yes, Jayagurudev, the temple at Kigga is strikingly simple: stone walls, a compact garbhagriha, and a linga with horn-like projection. Sahat Samadhi meditation is about effortlessness, dropping complexities, and slipping into inner silence. The temple mirrors this, nothing extravagant, just pure essence. When seekers meditate there, the atmosphere naturally draws them inward. Sahat Samadhi participants often share that they feel a spontaneous stillness here, as though the sage's tapasya has left an imprint on the land. In Vedic tradition, simplicity in temple design indicates a focus on tapasya rather than grandeur. This temple has withstood centuries without losing its sanctity, just as Sahat Samadhi teaches effortless rest in the self. This temple reminds devotees that true strength lies in simplicity. Its history linked to Risha Shringa bringing rains to Yagya also resonates with meditation's fruit of abundance without struggle. The temple's very structure teaches seekers that silence is the real ornament of life. Jai Gurudev. Jai Gurudev, so can Shringa Rishi temples' wooden carvings be compared with the intricacy of Padma Sadhana? Jai Gurudev, absolutely. Padma Sadhana is a sequence of yogic postures designed to align prana flows. Every asana has precision. Just like every wooden carving at Shringa Rishi temple has detail, The artisans who created these carvings did so with devotion, much like practitioners performing Padmasadhana with awareness. Devotees often say practicing Padmasadhana in such an environment feels natural, each posture flowing like the patterns on the temple's beams. The temple's architecture is a masterpiece of Himachal's craftsmanship, interlocking wooden beams, intricate floral designs, and sacred motifs. Each carving tells a story, much like each asana in Padmasadhana tells the story of body mind harmony. Vedic tradition holds that temple structures themselves are yogic postures frozen in wood and stone. Hence, when one practices Padmasadhana near the sanctum, the resonance between body movements and temple carvings create a deeper spiritual alignment. Now, how is the Shringinari Dham connected with the Agnihotra and Homas taught in Art of Living? Yes, Jayagurudev, the Shringinari Dham, where Mata Shanta is honored, is deeply linked with the legacy of Yagyas. Agnihotra in Art of Living is a simplified fire ritual performed at sunrise and sunset, harmonizing with nature. At Shringinari, devotees often light small lamps and fires, offering ghee and grains, an echo of the Putrika Mishti Yagya. Practicing Agnihotra here is especially powerful as it aligns with the Sankalpa energy of Mata Shanta and Risha Shringa. This dham hosts seasonal homas, particularly during Navratri, where hundreds gather to chant mantras. The fire rituals replicate what Risha Shringa performed for King Dashrata in Vedic practice. Yagyas channel cosmic forces for fertility, rain, and prosperity. Art of living homes and homas are built on the same foundation, invoking specific deities for universal harmony. Performing or even witnessing Agnihotra here links one to that ancient Yagya lineage, ensuring the blessings extend beyond family into society at large. Now, how do small Shanta Devi shrines embody the essence of Guru Puja and Seva? Yes, Jayagurudev, in Art of Living, Guru Puja honors the lineage of masters with gratitude. Similarly, offering flowers at a small Shanta Devi shrine is an act of remembering the feminine grace that sustains Dharma. Many of these shrines are maintained not by priests but by villagers themselves, sweeping floors, lighting lamps, cooking prasad. This seva reflects the same spirit Art of Living instills, that service done with love purifies the heart. Vedic temples, even small shrines, strive not on grandeur but on bhakti. Families come together to clean, decorate, and serve. Guru Puja emphasizes humility before the master. These shrines emphasize humility before the elder sister of Rama. Both cultivate gratitude. Historically, during village fairs, brothers and sisters visit these shrines together, seeking blessings. This ritual is seva in action, preserving dharma through family unity. By connecting Guru Puja with these shrines, devotees learn that true worship is not in wealth but in sincerity and service. Now, how does the silence of Kigga inspire seekers during Sanyam Sadhana of level 1 and level 2? Yes, Jagurudev, Kigga is surrounded by dense forests and general streams. Silence here is not an absence but a presence that speaks during Sanyam Sadhana of level 1 and level 2 in Art of Living. Seekers spend days in silence observing their minds. The atmosphere of Kigga mirrors that experience naturally. Sitting before the Risha Shringeshwara Linga, one feels the Setsis Tapasya echoing in the heart. For many, this silence is a transformative. Anger softens, clarity arises, and creativity blossoms. The temple's simple architecture ensures that distractions are minimal, making it a natural retreat for deep sadhana. Now, in Vedic tradition, mauna or silence is itself a vrata. Sage Rishashringa is remembered for his restraint and focus. Performing silence here is not just a practice, it's a return to his lineage. Local stories say even birds quieten where rituals are performed. This environment enhances the fruits of Sanyam sadhana of level 1 and level 2 of inner purification, control over senses, and alignment with dharma. Just as Rishashringa's silence brought rains, a seeker's silence here brings inner abundance. Now, how do the fairs at Shringa Rishi temple resemble Art of Living satsangs? The annual fairs at Shringa Rishi Temple are filled with music, dance, and community joy. In Art of Living Satsangs, also combine bhajan stories and collective meditation. Both create an atmosphere where devotion becomes celebration. When villagers carry the deity in a palanquin with drums and trumpets, it's much like the collective energy in an Art of Living Satsang, joy transcending boundaries. Participants of Art of Living courses who visit this temple often feel that the valley itself is in a satsang mode. Now, in a Vedic culture, festivals are not entertainment, they are sadhana in community. At Shringa Rishi Temple, the palanquin procession is accompanied by Vedic chants and rituals. Similarly, in satsangs, we chant mantras, sing bhajans, and offer Guru Puja. Both are ways of keeping dharma alive in society. Historically, these fairs were occasions when families united, siblings met, and communities resolved conflicts. Today, connecting these with art of living satsang shows that joy and devotion are the strongest tools for harmony. Now, how is the Shringi Nari Dham connected with women's empowerment in both tradition and art of living? Jayavardhan Mata Shanta represents dignity, sacrifice, and strength. At Shringi women come to pray for children, but they also come to seek inner strength. In Art of Living, women are encouraged to take leadership roles in seva, teaching, and knowledge sharing. Shanta's story inspires women to see themselves not as secondary, but as givers of destiny. Just as her blessings made Ram's birth possible, women's sankalpa in families makes dharma flourish. Vedic Dharma always honored women as Griha Lakshmi and Yagya Shakti. Shanta Devi's shrines are proof that even in patriarchal times, the sisters' role was celebrated. Fairs at Shringinari often highlight women's rituals, tying threads, fasting, and collective prayers. This cultural respect aligns with Art of Living's modern work in empowering women through rural development, education, and self care. Thus, Shanta Devi becomes a bridge, ancient reverence meeting modern empowerment. Now, how does the Shanta Devi shrines teach seva as spiritual practice? Jagadev Seva in Art of Living is often cleaning ashrams, cooking for participants, or helping in villages. Similarly, Shanta Devi shrines are maintained entirely by community seva. Devotees clean the premises, decorate with flowers, and cook simple prasad. This transforms service into worship. When families serve together, love grows naturally. Many Art of Living volunteers share that visiting these shrines inspires them to see seva as a joy, not as a duty. In Vedic Dharma, seva through Tan Mandhan is considered higher than ritual. These shrines survive not on royal patronage but on community love. Brothers and sisters often come together during Raksha Bandhan to serve the deity, reinforcing sibling bonds. This is Dharma in action. Linking this to art of living, Seva becomes a bridge between personal practice and social responsibility. Just as the Shanta Devi blessed Rama through selfless love, Seva blesses the world through selfless action. Now, how do the temples of Mata Shanta remind us of Upanayanam and Gayatri Japa? Jagadev, Upanayanam is a sacred initiation where a child is entrusted with the Gayatri mantra. A mother's prayer for her son's brilliance. Mata Shanta's shrines embody this essence as Ram's sister. Her silent blessings nurtured the lineage of Dharma. When devotees chant Gayatri at her temples, they feel a motherly presence guiding their intellect. In Art of Living, children in the Balchetna Shivar are taught simple pranayamas and chanting, planting seeds of discipline like Upanayam. Shanta's shrines amplify this vibration, reminding us that divine learnings begin with the family blessings. Now, the Gayatri Mantra is chanted at dawn, noon, and dusk of Trikal Sandhya at Shanta temples. Many mothers pray for their children's brilliance and long life. This reflects the very purpose of Upanandam to connect the child with cosmic rhythm. The temples thus function as cultural classrooms where devotion meets discipline. By linking this with Art of Living's modern courses, we see continuity, ancient Vedic samskaras flowing into present day spiritual training. Now, how does the architecture of Risha Shringeshwara temple reflect the spirit of homas and art of living? That the temple in Kiga is simple with a sanctum that radiates warmth, much like the fire altar in a Homa. In Art of Living, Homas like Navagraha, Maharudra, and Chandi are performed to harmonize energies. The way devotees gather around the sanctum offering flowers and chanting resembles how participants sit around the sacred fire during Art of Living Homas. Both spaces channel collective intention into cosmic prayer. In Vedic tradition, the temple is itself a Homa Kunda. The Garbhagriha or sanctum is the fire, the deity is the flame of consciousness. In Kigga, Risha Shringasa's linga symbolizes tapasya. Rituals here involve offerings of ghee, water, and bilva leaves. Echoing yagya rituals, Art of Living Homas continue this living fire tradition, bridging personal transformation and universal welfare. Thus, the temple's architecture is a standing yagya, reminding us that life itself is a continuous offering. Now, how does the Shringa Rishi temple in Banjar Valley encourage Padma Sadhana? Jagadav, the Padma Sadhana in art living is a sequence of yoga asanas that prepare the body for deeper meditation. In Banjar Valley, the lush surroundings and the shrine of Risha Shringa naturally inspire seekers to stretch, breathe, and sit in stillness. Practicing Padma Sadhana here aligns the body with the serenity of mountains. Many art of living participants report that their meditations deepen significantly after asana practice in such sacred spaces, mirroring how sages once practiced yoga near shrines. Now, Rishashringa is remembered as a rishi of discipline and penance. Ancient yogis in this valley practiced asanas, pranayama, and meditation as offerings to the sage. The temple grounds thus act like an open air Gurukul Padma, though a modern structured practice in art of living carries the same essence, preparing the body as a lotus steady and pure, ready to receive divine wisdom. The valleys is architecture of nature, river, mountain, forest, becomes the mat for sadhana. Now, how do fairs at Shringinari Dham reflect the essence of Sudarshan Kriya? Sudarshan Kriya is about collective rhythm, millions breathing together in harmony with life. At Shringinari fairs, devotees gather in thousands, singing, dancing, and offering prayers in synchrony. This collective vibration feels like a living Sudarshan Kriya session. Individuals dissolve into one collective breath of devotion, just as Kriya cleanses stress and revives joy. The fair renews community bonds and spiritual enthusiasm. In Vedic Dharma fairs or melas are seen as sangama or meeting points of energies. People come not only to pray but to breathe, sing, and live together. The synchronized rhythm of drums, conches, and chants is an ancient form of group pranayama. Linking this to art of living Sudarshan Kriya is natural, both cleanse collective consciousness. The fairs thus embody Vedic wisdom, while art of living brings the same essence to a global audience. Now, how does visiting Risha Shringeshwara temple connect with Sanyam sadhana of level 1 and level 2 in art of living? Yes, Sanyam means conserving energy, watching silence within. At Risha Shringeshwara temple in Kika, the atmosphere itself induces mauna or silence. The forest or the river sounds and the calm sanctum compels seekers to turn inward. In art of living, Sanyam sadhana of level 1 and level 2, participants experience deep silence, subtle food, and meditative awareness. Visiting this temple is like stepping into a natural Siam retreat. Devotees say that even casual visitors lower their voices instinctively. It is the energy of restraint. Sage Risha Shringa was known for his disciplined Siam. Born in seclusion, he lived in deep austerity, conserving his mind and senses. This tapasya made him capable of bringing rain through yajna. The temple commemorates this. Its ritual emphasizes simplicity and restraint. Sanyam sadhana of level 1 and level 2 in art of living reflects the same principle. Silence magnifies inner power. Both traditions teach us that when senses are disciplined, nature responds. Now, how do the Shringa Rishi temples embody the wisdom of Yoga Vasistha taught in art of living? Jagadev, the Yoga Vasistha emphasizes that the world is a play of consciousness and peace comes from inner mastery. Shringa Rishi's story mirrors this teaching. Despite temptations, he remained established in truth. In Art of Living, Yoga Vasistha sessions encourage seekers to see beyond appearances. Sitting at Shringa Rishi temple, one feels the same lesson. Outer circumstances may fluctuate, but the sage's energy teaches inner stability. In Yoga Vasistha, sages like Rishi Shringa embody the message of dispassion. The temples built in his memory are not extravagant, they are humble, echoing the idea that real strength is inner awareness, not outer show. Rituals here focus on mantra and meditation more than grandeur. This aligns perfectly with Art of Living's approach, bringing ancient texts alive, not just as philosophy, but as a practice for daily life. Now, how does the Shringinari Dham reflect the power of Chandi Homa in Art of Living? Jagadev, the Chandi Homa invokes the Mother Divine for protection, prosperity, and spiritual upliftment. At Shringinari Dham, fairs and rituals often celebrate Shanta Mata alongside Shringa Rishi. Women especially come here seeking strength, fertility, and family harmony, echoing the blessings of Chandi Devi in Art of Living says Chandi Homa. The collective chanting of Devi Suktam purifies the environment. Similarly, Shringinari Dham radiates feminine power and nurturance. Mata Shanta represents Shakti, the quiet sustaining force behind Dharma. The local belief is that prayers here never go unanswered. This faith is identical to the purpose of Chandihoma, invoking divine feminine power for balance. Both in Art of Living and in the temple, the sacred feminine is honored not as a concept, but as living grace. Now, how do all these temples collectively inspire modern seekers to Art of Living courses? Jagadev, every temple, whether at Kigga, Banjara, Shringinari, or teaches a lesson, a silence, discipline, feminine strength, or family harmony. Art of Living courses like Sudarshan Kriya, Padma Sadhana, Sanyam Sadhana of level 1 and level 2, and Guru Puja provide practical ways to experience these qualities. Today, visiting the temples deepens the connection. This connection, one breathes in the same energy where sages walked. Now, the temples are not relics of the past, they are active energy centers. By linking them with art of living practices, seekers understand that Vedic wisdom is not confined to rituals, but is a living science that shrines bless not only devotees of Ayodhya, but all who respect the sacred sibling bond of Rama and Shanta. They stand as bridges between heritage and present day sadhana. Now, how does the Risha Shringeshwara temple connect with Anjaneya Homa in Art of Living? Yes, Jayagurudev, Anjaneya Homa invokes Lord Hanuman for strength, courage, and protection. At Risha Shringeshwara temple, the story of sage Risha Shringeshwara shows how purity of heart attracts divine blessings. Just as Hanuman's devotion could move mountains, Risha Shringa's penance could bring rain. When Art of Living performs Anjaneya Homa, participants feel fearless and grounded. The temple too inspires courage, showing that purity and devotion, when combined, can transform nature itself. Hanuman and Risha Shringa share a subtle link. Both are embodiments of brahmacharya and inner strength. Temples like Kika serve as reminders of this power of celibacy and tapasya. Anjaneya Homa, like the worship of Risha Shringa, channels that strength for the welfare of society, rain for parched land, and courage for troubled minds. The blessings are the same. Now, how do the Shringa Rishi temple inspire Navratri sadhana in Art of Living? Jayadev, the Navratri is about celebrating Shakti. Shringa Rishi's temples, where Shanta Mata is often remembered alongside him, are living centers of feminine power during Art of Living's Navratri celebrations. Devi Homas purify the environment and devotees immerse in chanting and silence. Visiting Shringa Rishi shrines during Navratri enhances the sense of sacredness, reminding us that without Shanta's Shakti, Risha Shringa's tapasya would not have flourished. Now, in the Vedic view, Navratri balances masculine tapas and feminine grace. Shringa Rishi embodies tapas, Shanta embodies Shakti. Their union mirrors Navratri's deeper essence. Shakti sustains dharma, while tapa strengthens it. Thus, the temples symbolize the very balance Navratri seeks to restore. Art of Living says Navratri homas continue the same principle globally. Now, how does the Shringinari Dham reflect the Gurukul education tradition similar to Art of Living's Gurukul and TTD schools? Jayagurudev, as the Shringinari Dham, besides being a shrine, is a cultural center where stories of Shanta and Risha Shringa are told to children. This is exactly what Gurukuls did, transmitting values through stories, rituals, and festivals. Art of Living says Sri Sri Gurukul and TTD Veda schools continue here, and this year Sanskrit chanting, yoga, and dharmic values are taught. Just as devotees learn from fairs at Shringinari, children in Gurukuls absorb dharma in a community setting. Vedic education was never just reading texts, it was living values and daily rituals. Tringinari fairs teach community bonding, respect for nature, and devotion. Similarly, Gurukuls prepare children not only to recite Vedas but to embody discipline and service. Linking these traditions with the art of living Gurukuls shows how Vedic learning is alive and evolving. Now, how do these temples and art of living practices together uphold the blessings of Ayodhya? Jayagurudev, Ayodhya is more than a city, it is a vibration of harmony. Shanta's temples and Rishashringa's shrines radiate blessings that nourish Ayodhya even today. Art of living practices like Sudarshan Kriya, Homas, and Guru Puja awaken the same harmony in hearts worldwide. When devotees visit these temples and practice art of living techniques, they extend Ayodhya's blessings across continents. Ayodhya flourished because it honored every relationship, king and people, guru and disciple, brother and sister. These temples keep that spirit alive. Art of living through seva and sadhana ensures this dharmic vibration reaches modern seekers. Thus, from Ayodhya to Kigga, from Banja to Lalitpur, one current flows. Blessings of family, harmony, dharma, and divine grace. Now, how do these temples encourage the practice of Trikal Sandhya? Jayagurudev, Trikal Sandhya prayers at dawn, noon, and dusk is a rhythm that tunes with life with the cosmos at Risha Shringeshwara and Shanta temples. Rituals follow these timings just as ancient sages lived by sunrise and sunset. When devotees attend these prayers, they naturally align with cosmic cycles. Art of Living too emphasizes meditation at morning and evening, synchronizing with the same energy. Practicing Sudarshan prayer at these times is like experiencing Trikal Sandhya in a modern form. Vedic scriptures insist that those who miss Sandhya lose touch with Dharma. At these shrines, bells ring at exact times, reminding villagers of their duty. This discipline has kept Dharma alive for centuries. Art of Living's global courses replicate this, encouraging seekers to meditate daily at specific times. As temples and practices reinforce the same cycle, remembrance of the divine thrice a day. Now, how is Agni Karyam reflected in the rituals at Risha Shringeshwara temple? Jagadev Agnikarya means fire offerings performed daily by Vedic priests. In Kigga, small scale offerings of ghee and samidas or wood are made into the sacred fire. This flame never really dies, symbolizing continuity of tapasya. In Art of Living, fire is also the center, absorbing negativity, releasing blessings. Both practices show that Agni is the eternal messenger between humans and gods. In Risha Shringasa's yagya, Agni carried prayers to the heavens, bringing rain and prosperity. The temple rituals echo this even if on a smaller scale. The symbolism is intact. Art of Living continues this tradition with Agnihotras and Homas performed worldwide. Agni Karam ensures the chain of offering never breaks, keeping Dharma alive. Now, how do bhajans and satsangs at these temples compare with the Art of Living satsangs? Jayagurudev, in Shringarishi temple, fairs are filled with folk bhajans glorifying the sage and Mata Shanta. The rhythm, the collective singing, and the joyful abandon are exactly like Art of Living satsangs. Both dissolve barriers of caste, age, and background. When people sing together, stress dissolves and hearts open. Art of Living satsangs bring this village energy into global auditoriums. In Vaidik Dharma, satsang is a Sata Seva, keeping company with truth. Shanta and Rishashringa temples became centers of community gatherings. Even today, local priests encourage singing together as part of worship. This mirrors Art of Living's approach. Spirituality is not heavy, it is celebratory. Bhajans are the heartbeat of both traditions. Now, how do silence retreats in Art of Living resemble pilgrimages to these shrines? Jagadev, in Art of Living, silence retreats, seekers step away from noise and immerse in inner stillness. Visiting Risha Shringa or Shanta shrines offers the same effect. Villages are quiet, nature dominates, and the temples radiate calm. Just sitting in the sanctum is like a guided silence retreat. In both spaces, inner chatter reduces and the mind blossoms in peace. Risha Shringasa's tapasya itself was a silence retreat. Born in isolation, his power grew through mana. Temples built for him inherit that vibration. Art of Living's retreats revive this in a modern form, structured silence, guided meditation, subtle food. Both paths honor the same truth. Silence is the womb of wisdom. Now, how do these temples and Art of Living together expand Dharma globally? Mata Shanta and Rishashinga temples are rooted in India and Nepal, but their essence is universal. Discipline, devotion, and family blessings. Art of Living takes these principles worldwide through Sudarshan Kriya, Satsangs, and Homas. A person in New York City chanting Gayatri is spiritually connected to a villager ringing the bell in a village in India. The thread is unbroken. Vedic Dharma always saw the world as one family of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. These temples embody that spirit locally. Art of Living manifests it globally. Together, they ensure that Ram's Ayodhya and Shanta's blessings are not confined to geography but spread across continents. This is how Dharma thrives by flowing, adapting, and blessing all. Now, how is the temple of Mata Shanta in Lalitpur in Nepal spiritually connected to Art of Living's practices like Sudarshan Kriya and Gayatri Japa? Jayagurudev, Mata Shanta's temple in Lalitpur is a quiet sanctuary and silence is its greatest gift. In Art of Living, Sudarshan Kriya brings one into the same inner silence where devotion blossoms naturally, just as Mata Shanta's life reflects patience and devotion. Gayatri Japa strengthens the intellect and purifies the mind. Many participants who have visited this temple after learning Sudarshan Kriya have shared how the stillness there deepened their practice. The temples also preserve traditions of chanting Gayatri Mantra, which was central to Shanta Mata's upbringing in Ayodhya as a daughter of Dashrath. In our rituals, we combine Upanayana Samskara with Gayatri Japa for young seekers. When Art of Living participants come here, they resonate with the same lineage. Just as the temple has survived centuries with dignity, the Sudarshan Kriya and Gayatri Japa practices sustain inner resilience. In essence, this temple becomes a living example of how sisterly devotion, Vedic chanting, and modern spiritual techniques together bless their families with harmony. Mata Shanta's shrine thus connects heart and practice, making every prayer an offering to both tradition and inner transformation. Now, how is the Rishashringa temple in Sringeri in Karnataka linked with Art of Living's Agnihotra and other Homa practices? Jayagurudev, the Rishashringa temple in Sringeri carries immense significance because Sri Rishashringa himself was central to the Putra Kameshti Yagya of King Dashrata, which ultimately led to Lord Ram's birth in the Art of Living. Agnihotra and Homa practices are not only about offerings to fire, but also about restoring balance in nature and in the mind. When participants perform Sudarshan Kriya followed by Agnihotra, the experience is very similar to the serenity one feels while sitting inside a Rishashinga's shrine, where fire rituals have been conducted for centuries. Architecturally, this temple embodies South Indian traditions with intricate carvings and stone pillars. Its sanctum is simple yet filled with the vibration of yagyas performed over ages. We at the Vaidik Dharm Sansthan often highlight how Rishashinga was a rishi whose presence alone brought rain to drought-stricken lands. In Art of Living, when we conduct Rudra Puja, Navgraha Homa, or Agnihotra, participants experience the same blessings of abundance and renewal. Just as Sage Rishashinga blessed nature with fertility, these practices bless individuals with inner prosperity. The temple reminds us that when yagyas are performed with purity, society and nature both thrive. Now, how does Mata Shanta's temple in Ayodhya reflect the spirit of Padma Sadhana in Art of Living? Jai Gurudev, yes, Padma Sadhana, a sequence of yoga asanas taught in the Art of Living, is named after the lotus symbolizing purity and unfolding. In Ayodhya, Mata Shanta's temple embodies this very unfolding. Her story is one of sacrifice, patience, and devotion, much like a lotus that blooms in muddy waters yet remains untouched. Practicing Padma Sadhana at her shrine deepens one's connection to the body while offering gratitude for sisterly and maternal energies. Architecturally, the temple is modest yet divine, echoing Ayodhya's spiritual vibration. For centuries, devotees have come here to honor Mata Shanta's pivotal role in the Ramayana lineage. In our traditions, Padma or lotus also symbolizes Lakshmi or prosperity and inner stability. When devotees practice Padma Sadhana and offer prayers here, the benefits are amplified. The temple thus bridges yoga with bhakti, helping practitioners remain rooted in discipline while blossoming in devotion. Now, how is the Guru Puja connected to Mata Shanta's devotion and a temple? Devadev Guru Puja in Art of Living is an offering of gratitude to the lineage of masters. Mata Shanta's life itself is a puja. She bowed to her father Dashrath's wishes and accepted Sri Drishashringa as her husband, ensuring the continuation of Dharma. When we chant Guru Puja, it carries the same spirit of surrender she exemplified. Visiting her temple and doing Guru Puja resonates with the humility and service Shanta Mata embodied. Now, historically, Shanta Devi is revered as a silent force behind Ram's birth. Without her union with Rishyasringa, Dashrath's yajna would not have been possible. Architecturally, the temple in Ayodhya preserves this reverence. When Guru Puja is performed here, devotees feel deeply connected to both maternal and Guru energies, just as Guru Puja connects us to the unbroken chain of wisdom. Mata Shanta connects Ayodhya's heritage to the future of Dharma. Now, how does the Rishya temple in Bihar, the Shringa Rishi Dham, relate to Sandhya Vandanam and Gayatri Japa? Yes, Jayudev, Sandhya Vandanam is a daily practice of alignment with the rhythms of nature. Sage Risha Shringa's austerity was so powerful that his presence alone invoked rainfall and prosperity. His temple in Bihar is still visited for blessings of fertility, rain, and abundance. Performing Gayatri Japa or Sandhya Vandanam here resonates strongly as Risha Shringa's tapas was anchored in the same discipline. The temple's architecture blends simplicity with sacred energy. Rituals here often involve Gayatri chanting for prosperity of the land. Scriptures say Rishya was untouched by worldly distractions until he was brought for the yajna. Similarly, Sandhya Vandanam keeps a seeker centered, protecting them from distractions. In Art of Living, Gayatri Japa is integrated with Upanayana Samskara, reminding us of Risha Vedic roots. The temple thus becomes a living school of discipline and devotion. Now, how does Lalitpur's Shanta Mata shrine inspire women's empowerment and connect with Sanyam Sadhana of level 1 and level 2? Jagadav Sanyam Sadhana of level 1 and level 2 in Art of Living is about self restraint and inner observation. Mata Shanta is an early example of this. Though eldest among siblings, she gracefully accepted her role outside Ayodhya, embodying both sacrifice and empowerment. Women who visit her Lalitpur shrine often feel inspired to balance family responsibilities with inner growth. Practicing Sanyam Sadhana of level 1 and level 2 here magnifies the experience of self mastery. The shrine's architecture is simple, reflecting humility, yet its sacredness lies in honoring Shanta Devi's choices. In the Vedic tradition, women like her safeguarded Dharma through inner strength. At the Vaidik Dharm Sansthan, we often emphasize her example during women oriented rituals and festivals. When Art of Living courses like Sanyam Sadhana of level 1 and level 2 are practiced in her presence. Seekers learn that true empowerment is rooted in restraint, devotion, and strength of character. Now, how is the Sringeri Rishasringa temple connected with Sri Sri Yoga and art of living meditations? Jayadev, the Sri Sri Yoga emphasizes balance between body, mind, and spirit. At Sringeri, where Rishasringa's shrine stands, the river and forest create a meditative atmosphere. Meditation here feels natural as the environment itself induces silence. Many practitioners experience deeper meditations when combining Sudarshan Kriya with the yoga near this temple connecting to Rishashringa's tapas energy. Architecturally, the temple mirrors the precision of Vedic rituals. Just like yoga aligns movements with breath, historically, Sringeri has been a seat of knowledge and tapas. We highlight that meditation is not escapism but living in harmony with nature. As Rishashringa did, visitors find their yoga practice magnified here, as the temple's sacredness supports both physical alignment and mental stillness. Now, how does the Shanta Mata temple in Ayodhya strengthen the bond of brother sister relationships, and how is this seen in art of living satsangs? Jayadev, in satsangs, we sing bhajans that celebrate love, unity, and belongingness. Mata Shanta symbolizes the eternal bond between siblings, where sacrifice and love go hand in hand. In her temple, devotees often pray for family harmony. Similarly, in art of living satsangs, brothers and sisters, young and old, sit together, resolving differences. The vibration is the same as the one Shanta Devi nurtured for Rama and his brothers. Architecturally, the temple carries carvings symbolizing familial blessings in Vedic rituals. The sister often ties Raksha Sutra to her brother, symbolizing protection. At the shrine, the same spirit flows. When art flowing devotees participate in satsang after visiting this temple, they feel family ties strengthened, just as Rama revered Shanta as his elder sister. Satsangs remind us of respecting and nurturing all relationships. Now, how does Rishashinga temple in Bihar connect to art of living Sehet Samadhi meditation? Jagadev, the Sehet Samadhi meditation is about effortless transcendence. Rishi Sringasa's life was marked by innocence and deep absorption in tapas. His meditation was so natural that he remained untouched by worldly temptations until required for Dashrath's yagya. Practicing Sehet Samadhi in his temple in Bihar becomes deeply transformative as seekers connect to the same natural state of absorption. The temple rituals focus on simplicity. Devotees light lamps, chant mantras, and sit silently. This simplicity reflects the essence of Sehat Samadhi. Architecturally, the shrine does not overwhelm but rather invite stillness. In our Sansthan, we highlight how Risha Sringasa's meditation teaches that true strength lies in innocence and surrender. Art of living seekers who meditate here often share experiences of deep peace and inner expansion. Now, how do festivals at Lalitpur Shanta temple resonate with Art of Living's Navratri celebrations? Jayadev, during Navratri, we invoke the feminine energies of the universe. Mata Shanta's temple in Lalitpur also celebrates Devi energy, as Shanta herself is revered as an auspicious force, ensuring lineage continuity. In Art of Living, Navratri is celebrated with yagyas, chanting, and silence programs. Devotees who visit Shanta Mata during this time often feel her blessings harmonizing families' life. The temple hosts special pujas for prosperity and family well-being during Navratri. Architecturally decorated with lamps and flowers, it transforms into a Devi shrine. We emphasize that Mata Shanta represents both sisterly love and Devi Shakti. Art of Living says Navratri humas echo the same energy, invoking protection, abundance, and renewal. Thus, the temple and Art of Living festivals complement each other in preserving feminine divinity. Now, how is the Sringeri Rishasringa temple associated with Art of Living's Rudra Puja? Jayavardhan, the Rudra Puja invokes Lord Shiva's grace to bring peace, prosperity, and harmony. Risha Sringasa's penance was aligned with the same cosmic balance. Rudra Puja seeks to establish at this temple in Sringeri the energy of austerity and purity magnifies the effect of Rudra chants. When Art of Living devotees participate in Rudra Puja here, the connection to nature and rainfall becomes palpable, echoing his rain bringing blessings. The temple is situated amidst lush greenery, often blessed with abundant rainfall. Locals believe this is Risha Sringasa's eternal blessing. Architecturally, the shrine is built to withstand monsoon elements, reflecting nature's bond. In our Sansthan, we emphasize that Rudra Puja is not just about Shiva but about restoring ecological balance. This balance embodies that principle perfectly. Now, how does the Ayodhya's Shanta Mata shrine encourage seva, and how is this integrated with Art of Living's seva projects? Jagade Mata Shanta's life was seva personified. She gave up her place in Ayodhya to serve a greater purpose. Her temple inspires devotees to live for others. In Art of Living, Seva projects like river rejuvenation, education for underprivileged children, and village empowerment reflect the same selflessness. Praying at her shrine before engaging in Seva magnifies one's commitment. Architecturally, her temple holds depictions of yagyas and family harmony. In our Sansthan's programs, we narrate her story as an example of how Seva is not limited to physical service but also includes emotional and spiritual sacrifice. Art of Living says devotees who combine seva with the visits to her temple feel a deep sense of fulfillment, just as Shanta Devi fulfilled her dharmic duty. Now, how does researching a temple facilitate Agni Karyam and connect with Art of Living Homa practices? Jayagurudev Agni Karyam or fire offerings is central to Vedic tradition and represents purification of mind, body, and environment. At researching a temple, daily Agni Karyams are performed to honor the saints' austerity and penance. In Art of Living, homas like Navagraha Homa or Chandi Homa follow the same principle. Fire transforms negativity into positive energy. Devotees performing Homa after visiting this temple report amplified benefits as they are connecting with centuries of sacred energy emanating from the sage's penance. Now, architecturally, the Agni Kund is a place to channel natural energy aligning with sun and wind directions. This mirrors how Vedic Homas are conducted worldwide. At the temple, offerings are simple ghee, rice, and samidas, yet their impact is profound. Art of Living Homas emulate this purity. Intention is key, and the temple reinforces that the fire is a medium of transformation, not just ritual. Now, how do these temples connect to Upanayana and Gayatri Japa? Jayadeva Upanayana is the sacred thread ceremony introducing children to Vedic learning, usually including Gayatri Japa. Mata Shanta's temples celebrate the sanctity of lineage and dharma, where blessing children was central. Practicing Gayatri Japa at her shrines is like stepping into the spiritual heart of Ayodhya, linking the past with one's inner growth. Architecturally, temples have spaces dedicated to teaching young disciples, echoing ancient gurukuls. Children and adults participate in chanting, feeling both discipline and devotion. Art of Living says Gayatri workshops emulate this environment, guiding participants to experience mental clarity, just as Upanayana teaches focus, respect, and alignment with their cosmic rhythms. Now, how do temples inspire trikals in their practice in Art of Living? Jayudev, the trikals and their prayers at dawn, noon, and dusk help synchronize with the cosmic energies. At Shringa Rishi Temple, daily rituals follow this rhythm. The natural environment of flowing rivers, morning mist, and temple bells align perfectly with the meditation practices. Practitioners of Sudarshan Kriya often report that performing Kriya around sunrise or sunset at these shrines deepens the experience. Historically, sages observed these times for Vedic tradition and recitation, ensuring harmony with nature. Architecturally, the temple orientation often captures sun rays at precise times. Art of Living participants practicing Trikalsandhya here experience an organic alignment, integrating spiritual energy with the body rhythm, echoing the ancient wisdom preserved in temple rituals. Now, how do these temples encourage Sanyam sadhana of level 1 and level 2 in Art of Living? Jayagurudev, the Sanyam sadhana of level 1 and level 2 involves self restraint and inner observation. Visiting the Rishashinga temple, one experiences the stillness the sage embodied. Silence becomes natural and distraction fades. Practicing Sanyam sadhana of level 1 and level 2 here mirrors the Rishi's disciplined life and strengthens meditation, mental clarity, and patience. The temple's architecture supports quiet reflection. Open courtyards, shaded areas, and minimalistic interiors create conducive energy for contemplation. Historically, sages meditated here for months. Art of Living Sanyam programs of level 1 and level 2 replicate this, teaching participants to absorb thoughts, emotions, and sensations, just as the Rishi did this centuries ago. Now, how does visiting Mata Shanta temple enhance Guru Puja practice in Art of Living? Jagada Guru Puja honors the lineage of masters, and Mata Shanta herself is a spiritual guide in the Ramayana lineage. Her temple instills humility and reverence, preparing the mind for Guru Puja. Performing it here enhances gratitude, focus, and devotion. The temple is simple, allowing practitioners to focus entirely on internal experience. Historical records suggest that elders guided children here in rituals, modeling the essence of Guru Puja. Respect, devotion, and surrender. Art of Living Guru Puja sessions mirror this atmosphere, linking present day seekers with the spiritual energy of the temple. Now, how do silence retreats in Art of Living mirror the atmosphere of Rishashinga shrines? Jagadev, silence retreats cultivate awareness and inner stillness. The natural surroundings of Rishashinga temples, flowing rivers, forests, and open courtyards create the same serenity. Practitioners experience deep meditative states, effortlessly connecting with the rishis' original energy of mana and tapasya. Architecturally, the temple minimizes noise and distractions. Historically, sages meditated here in complete silence. Art of living retreats are designed similarly, providing structured silence, guided meditation, and pranic awareness. Both facilitate inner awakening and rejuvenation. Now, how do these temples inspire global art of living outreach? The energy of Mata Shanta and Rishashinga temples is universal. Art of living courses, Sudarshan Kriya, meditation homas extend this energy worldwide. Practitioners in New York, London, or Singapore can connect spiritually with these ancient shrines through online satsangs or workshops, feeling the same blessings. Vedic Dharma has always embraced universality. Temples honor Dharma locally, while Art of Living spreads the same principles globally. The sacred energy of these temples is thus not confined geographically, but becomes a source of inspiration for seekers worldwide, uniting tradition with modern spiritual practices. Now, how do these temples and art of living practices together sustain the blessings of Ayodhya? Ayodhya's vibration of harmony, family values, and dharma flows through these shrines. Art of living practices channel the same energy into hearts worldwide, ensuring that Ram's lineage and Shanta's blessings continue to inspire generations. Temples preserve history, architecture, and rituals, while Art of Living amplifies these energies through modern sadhana. Together, they maintain the spiritual continuity of Ayodhya, reinforcing dharma, devotion, and family unity. Now, how does visiting Rishashinga temples enhance Padma Sadhana practice in Art of Living? There with the Padma Sadhana, the lotus-based yoga sequence symbolizes purity and spiritual awakening. Rishashinga temples are located amidst pristine forests and rivers, reflecting purity in nature. Practicing Padma Sadhana here allows seekers to align body and mind with the environment, deepening focus and inner calm. The sage's energy amplifies the meditative benefits, creating a profound connection between body postures, breath, and spiritual consciousness. Architecturally, temples are designed with courtyards and open spaces, ideal for group practice or solitary meditation. Historical records show sages meditating here in alignment with cosmic rhythms. Padma sadhana in such settings is not only a physical practice but a living dialogue with dharma, reinforcing purity, balance, and the blessings of nature. Now, how do bhajans and satsangs at Mata Shanta shrines connect to art of living global programs? Jagade bhajans are a universal language of devotion at Shanta Mata shrines. Local folk bhajans celebrate her role in sustaining dharma. In art of living, bhajans and satsangs are adapted worldwide, creating the same collective vibration. Practitioners feel familial and spiritual connectedness, echoing the devotion experienced in Ayodhya or Lalitpur. Architecturally, the shrines as acoustics enhance chanting. Satsangs are historically served as community unifiers. Similarly, Art of Living Global Satsangs replicate this energy. Devotees across continents participate simultaneously, bridging cultures through devotion, echoing the universality of Dharma, exemplified by Mata Shanta. Now, how do these temples inspire Navratri pujas in Art of Living? Jai Gurudev, Navratri celebrates feminine energy. Mata Shanta's temples, where she is revered as Devi Shakti, radiates spiritual empowerment. Performing Navratri homas and chanting during Art of Living courses in her honor invokes resilience, devotion, and inner purification. The rhythm of ritual combined with meditation creates a potent spiritual alignment. The temple's festive decorations, floral offerings, and sacred lights provide a direct experience of Shakti. Architecturally, spaces accommodate group rituals, facilitating collective energy. Art of Living participants feel this amplified energy during Navratri, blending ancient tradition with the modern practices. Now, how are marriage rituals at these temples linked with art of living values? The marriage at these temples is not only a social contract, but a dharmic alignment emphasizing commitment, respect, and spiritual harmony. Art of living values such as family bonding, service, and meditation help couples integrate these principles into modern life. Seva and meditation during wedding ceremonies foster mutual understanding, mirroring Shanta Mata's guidance for family unity. Architecturally, mandaps are arranged to facilitate sacred ceremonies. Ancient texts describe Shanta Mata blessing unions for prosperity, and Dharma Art of Living incorporates similar values through couple workshops, emphasizing spiritual partnerships and harmonious living, reflecting the blessings of these temples. Now, how do Rishashinga temples inspire environmental awareness and art of living? Jagadeva sage Rishashinga's penance brought rain to parched lands, symbolizing harmony with nature. Visiting his shrines inspires practitioners to honor rivers, forests, and wildlife. Art of Living integrates this through environmental seva projects, tree planting, river rejuvenation, and sustainable living practices. Meditation and Homa performed near temples deepen the sense of interconnectedness with nature. Architecturally, temples are integrated with their natural surroundings. Historical accounts emphasize protection of forests and rivers. Artifacts as environmental initiatives echo this principle, teaching that dharma includes care for Mother Earth, just as Rishashinga's penance maintained ecological balance. Now, how do these temples connect to Padma Sadhana and Guru Puja simultaneously? Jagadev Padma Sadhana aligns body and mind while Guru Puja nurtures the spirit. At Shanta and Rishashinga temples, practitioners can first engage in physical yoga and then honor the lineage of masters through Guru Puja. This combination balances energy, discipline, and devotion, integrating physical and spiritual growth. Temple architecture facilitates both practices, open courtyards for yoga and sanctum spaces for puja. Historically, sages taught discipline, disciples physical practices followed by rituals. Art of Living mirrors this integrated approach globally, creating a holistic sadhana experience. Now, how are silence retreats inspired by the isolation and energy of Rishasringa shrines? The silence retreats and art of living focus on inward observation. Rishasringa's isolation in forest provides a model. The sage's environment naturally supports deep meditation. Practicing retreats near these temples helps seekers experience the rishis' mana energy, leading to effortless inner peace. The temple's architecture supports quiet reflection with minimal noise and natural acoustics. Historically, prolonged meditation was central to Sage's life. Art of Living retreats emulate this, helping practitioners access mental clarity, emotional balance, and spiritual expansion. Now, how do these temples and Art of Living together uphold family harmony? Jagadish Ram and Shanta's story reflects respect, duty, and love among family members. Visiting these temples while practicing Sudarshan Kriya, meditation, and Seva reinforces these values. Families experience deeper communication, understanding, and mutual support, mirroring the harmony Ayodhya represents. Architecturally, temples emphasize shared spaces, allowing families to worship together. Rituals encourage a collective prayer and participation. Art of Living integrates these experiences globally, teaching that inner discipline and devotion nurture external family harmony. Now, how do temples inspire global art of living meditation programs? The universal principles of devotion, tapasya, and dharma from these temples transcend geography. Online art of living courses, global satsangs, and meditation workshops connect participant spirituality to these shrines. The energy of Mata Shanta and Risha Shringa flows worldwide, fostering peace and resilience. Temples symbolize continuity of dharma architecturally and ritually. They preserve ancient wisdom. Art of Living translates this into accessible programs globally, allowing seekers to experience the same sacred energy irrespective of location. Now, how do Mata Shanta and Rishashinga temples together preserve the blessings of Ayodhya for future generations? Jai Gurudev, yes, these temples ensure that the values of dharma, family unity, devotion, and inner discipline remain alive. Art of living practices like Sudarshan Kriya, Homas, meditation, yoga, Guru Puja extend these blessings to the world. The essence of Ayodhya's harmony is thus transmitted across generations and continents. The temples' architecture, rituals, and sacred stories serve as living examples of ethical, spiritual, and ecological balance. Combined with the global art of living programs, they preserve Rama and Shanta's legacy, ensuring that dharma, devotion, and family harmony continue to inspire humanity forever, Jagadev.